Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be reviewing FEMM's second album, 80s-90s J-pop revival. Before we get started, I want to remind you that this is simply my opinion on the album, and if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to subscribe for more. It took 3 years for us to get a new album from FEMM, and even if we got some songs in between, I have to say it feels great to be able to have a full new album from them. Now, this new album is actually a cover album with J-pop songs from the 80s and 90s revisited by our two favorite mannequins. So technically it's not 100% new material, but as always with cover albums, and especially from Japan, I tend to be very ignorant of 95% of the original material covered, so it always feels like a brand new release every time. Here, what FEMM does incredibly well is that they keep this very nostalgic vibe that the original material carried, while making the songs their own. There's still this very heavy electronic style owned by the mannequins since their debut, and it works on most of the songs. I say most because, surprisingly, I didn't find this album to be as addictive as their own original material. My biggest issue with this release is that it feels like a FEMM release, and at the same time, it doesn't. It's probably the cover album gimmick, but I can't be as much into the songs as I hoped. I've listened to the album a couple times now, and every time I try to remember any song from it, I'm just unable to. I know this might sound absurd, considering FEMM's concept that they are two mannequins, but there's a lack of life in this cover album that stops me from really enjoying it. Everything always feels very flat on each song. I feel like the overdose of electronic music drowns the flavor of the original songs and also make the song not as appealing as they could be. Everything sounds more or less the same, and I felt like I was stuck on a musical loop. I'm not really sure what isn't clicking with me, but I'm just not into this release. However, this doesn't mean it's a terrible one. Far from it. I still think the production on those songs is at least creative and interesting, and if this cover album can get FEMM some exposure, then all the better. Still, there's something that doesn't quite sit well with me, as I find the mix of retro and electronic not working quite well, and it makes some of the songs sound a bit too awkward at times. I came out a little bit disappointed, if I'm quite honest, and that's why I give this album 2.5 stars. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to tell me what you think of the album down below, and I'll see you next time.